set up my recording. All right, so as always, actually, unless you're already really wanting to lay down, we'll start for a moment in seated and we'll do a breathing exercise, which is generally, it's just more efficient to do most breathing exercises in seated. Some you can do lying down, but this one is a bit more oriented towards sitting upright. So go ahead and sit up tall and close your eyes for a moment and just listen to the sound of your breath. Feel the breath. And then the next couple breaths, take a deep inhale in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Listen into that slow inhale and slow exhale, even exhaling a little longer than your inhale. Feel free to sigh out the mouth again. And for a couple breaths, we'll count in for 4 counts and we'll count out for 4 counts, just so we can slow down and really lengthen the exhale. And then we'll go into our next breathing exercise, which is the alternate nostril breathing. So sitting up tall, inhale in for 4 counts, just distributing the inhale evenly. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And one more. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Big exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anytime you're needing to access a rest response in the body, generally the body craves balance. So that's why I usually do the balanced breathing, equal parts inhale, equal parts exhale. But that extended exhale, it does serve a purpose. It is a practice you can do when you're feeling a lot of stress, a lot of built up tension in the body. It's good before sleep and just really helps engage the parasympathetic nervous system. And so we'll do our next breathing exercise, which is our alternate nostril breathing. It's also meant to engage the rest response, but create balance as well in the body. So it's called alternate nostril or Nadi Shodhana. And the finger position is just one thumb, and if you can use the ring finger, then try that. Ring finger isn't working, use the index finger. So either or. And the way we do it is just exhale in through one side, inhale in through one side as we close this side, and then switch sides. So we exhale through this side, inhale in through this side. So whatever side you start with is fine. Exhaling this side and inhaling. And close that nostril, exhale, go to the other side. Inhale. And close and repeat. Once you get a feel for it, try doing it closing the eyes. Inhale. And close and exhale. Inhale. And close and exhale. So we'll go about a minute, just doing as many rounds as you can for about a minute on your own. Finish up your last round side to side. After your next exhale, release your hand and breathe easy in through both nostrils. And exhale. Notice and feel if there's a change in the evenness of breath through both sides, drawing your attention onto the skin on the inside of the nose. This is meant to balance out not just the nostrils, but also both spheres of the brain, the right and left side, the sun and moon side, and bring us back into balance. And now at this point, if you feel like laying down, feel free to lay back, or you can stay in seated. And we'll just take a moment to feel in our body. Feel whatever you're lying on or sitting on. Feel and notice how the limbs are arranged. I'm going to shut the window. And notice how your spine is aligned, your chest lifting, your neck, your head. Notice your shoulders. And inquire into which parts of your body you may be feeling tension, pain, or holding. There's different levels, right? Sometimes it's not pain, it's just a nagging tightness. And sometimes it is pain. So notice where these areas are in your body. Maybe it's your shoulders, maybe your jaw, or your throat, or your belly. And just use your exhale next couple rounds to release these areas of tension and holding. You're using the exhale as a tool, a little bit more length on the exhale to really soften. And then as you feel yourself making contact with the earth, your body folded, shape of your body, feel air on your skin. Notice any sounds occurring around you. Take a moment to move from one sound to another and practice withdrawing. So this process of pratyahara in the 8-limb practice of yoga is a withdrawal of the senses, which means the senses are still going on around, sounds are always still occurring, and sensation in the body, smells, taste, sights. But instead of being fully immersed in these senses, just gently drawing more inward and noticing them with maybe a sense of curiosity, noticing there's a sound I didn't notice before. Right? There's a sensation that is new. There's the taste in my mouth that I hadn't noticed before, or a certain smell. All of these things just noticing, bringing that curiosity to them, awareness, and then coming back to our breath, sensation of breathing. And as we withdraw from the senses, gently loosening the grip on being immersed in them, the same thing as what we're trying to do with the thoughts. Instead of being the thoughts, we are not our thoughts. We have a thinking mind, yes, but it is not all of us. I'm just taking little steps away, noticing with curiosity what comes up in the mind, naming it, saying there's a thought and there's another thought and there's a train of thought. And again, coming back to the inhale, back to the exhale. Notice your breath as an anchor. There's waves occurring around this anchor, waves of sensation, senses, waves of thought, and also waves of emotion. Even getting that visualization of an anchor that drops down into the water, goes all the way to the bottom. It's very solid. And all the activity that goes around the anchor, the water, the life occurring around in the water. And the anchor is unperturbed by that. And it might feel natural to move from attention to the inside of the nose, the skin, into the heart. The heart is a natural anchor. And so we can begin to draw awareness into the heart and the chest center and just feel what it feels like to inhale and exhale from the chest. So keep your awareness there at the chest, the heart center, the rise of the chest, fall of the chest. And we can imagine the heart, the energy of the heart is a green color. Heart chakra energy center is a green color. So maybe it helps to anchor into that image of a green glow in your heart center. If that's distracting, then just simply back into the inhale and the exhale. Noticing the senses, noticing the thoughts, whatever arises, just meeting it with maybe a sense of curiosity and a kindness to yourself. And then anchor back in. Start to move your awareness from your heart down into your belly and create a little bit more softness in the belly. The belly, the lower part of the belly, especially below the navel, using a few breaths to soften and release. Allow the organs to breathe. Allow your hips to relax a bit more. So this is all part of the same energy center. Place below the navel, the hips, the lower back as well. And if it's helpful, you can imagine a red color. This is the root chakra, the root energy center. And we soften. Just focusing on these two areas, which carry a lot of emotion and can carry a lot of heaviness. Take a few more breaths and soften the belly, soften and relax the lower back, and let the hips just sink in further into whatever you're laying on or sitting on. Taking a last breath to soften the belly. Come back to the heart, the green glow in the heart. Taking a few breaths to feel the chest sensation again. And as we come back to the heart, can we still soften the belly? So tension in the heart, but there's also a conscious release with the belly. And we'll take about another minute to bring this opening meditation full circle. And if you find yourself resting your attention naturally in your heart, go there. If you find yourself resting your attention naturally in your root area, the place below the navel, through the pelvis. But if you find your attention going somewhere else, like your head, somewhere in the body that can help anchor you, anchor. And then in order to just really fully immerse ourselves in this practice in the moment, let's do a counting practice. So you find your anchor in your body, and then you count down. Let's count down from 15 to 1. So an inhale and an exhale is 15, inhale and exhale 14. Let's do that on our own in stillness. And once you get to 1, if you feel like starting over, come back to 15. And if you feel kind of like, okay, I want to just be with my breath now, I'm ready to be more anchored in my breath. And wherever you feel anchored in the body, then do that. So start now, counting down. Wherever you are, if you're still counting, maybe you've gone off somewhere else in your thoughts. Come back to a bit deeper breath. Breathe in through the nose. We'll breathe in these equal counts now. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just exhale, sigh it out the mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do 5 more deep breaths. Out the mouth or out the nose. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly just start to flutter your eyes open. And take a moment to move your hands, your legs, your shoulders, your hips, whatever. Just waking up the body. And we're going to do a quick squeeze on different parts of your body. You can squeeze the arms, the shoulders, the head. Yeah, whatever feels nice, just waking up your body. And whatever that experience was for you. Maybe we had a little bit of sound on my end. And maybe you had something going on around you too that made it a little more challenging. But whatever the experience was, just find a peace with it. And then we'll all come onto the back to start our movement practice. And so meet yourself on the back if you're not already there. And just do this little full body stretch for a moment. So reach the arms, reach the legs, inhale. And as you exhale, lower your arms. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, reach the arms, reach the legs. Feel this little arc in your lower back. It's natural to happen as you reach the arms up overhead, exhaling down. Try to minimize that little arc this time. Inhale, just reach from the arms and try not to move the pelvis or the lower back. Exhale down. And inhale, now just let it move naturally and feel what it feels like to lift your belly, lift your chest into that arc in the lower back. Begin to notice how the rest of the body moves when we move, the arms or the legs, the spine kind of does different things. So take it up one more time. Inhale and exhale. Bring it down. And then lying here, bring your one hand over the heart. Closing your eyes, just feel for the beating of the heart. Coming into this space, you can imagine that green glow and take a moment to set an intention for your practice. So whatever is resonating with you, there's a lot going on in our world, as always. But whatever you're feeling, like, okay, this is a good, positive, simple thing that I can focus on to elevate the quality of my life and to also emulate that quality around me. Something as simple as working on our relationships, or I guess that's not simple, but something as simple as noticing a thought pattern and then trying to bring more positivity into our thought pattern. So noticing when there's negative thought, even in our practice, and bringing positive thought. So maybe that's an intention, positive thought. Whatever else is coming up for you. So Let's take a nice deep breath and commit to a heartfelt intention. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll hug the knees in towards the chest. And just begin to rock a little bit side to side. So when we're moving today, you can use your heated breath into the nose, out through the nose, or you can just breathe easy. You can always take the breath nice and easy at your own pace. And then bring the hands onto the knees and just pivot the knees over to one side. So really the weight is on one hip, straightening the arms, or holding on to the knees to stabilize. And then come center, bringing the knees forward. You feel that little arc in the lower back. And then bring the knees over to the other side and pivot the weight over to that hip. And then come back to center, and we feel that rounding in the lower back, pushing into the ground. Let's go the other way. Go over to this side, feel the weight on this hip, so the knees are going in the opposite direction. And then forward, you can feel the lower back arcing, and over to the other side, and hug it in. Okay, let's start to just move our knees a little bit. So move the legs and the knees, lifting the legs up. And then begin to flex into the feet, pointing the heels up as you bend and straighten. Go slower if you need to. Bend and straighten. And you can inhale if you like to straighten the legs, exhale to bend in. And of course, we can always incorporate a bit of a bend into the knees. And the next time you bring your legs up, hold them up here and pretend like you're walking on the ceiling. So straightening through one, bending into the other. Arms can come down. And spread through your toes. Push your heels up. Feel this nice stretch. You should feel it through the backs of your legs, your hamstrings, backs of the knees, the calf muscle down into the ankle. And just about one more side to side. Yep. And then hold it up here. Of course, the knees can be bent. You're going to point through the toes and start to draw a little circle on the ceiling. And you can feel this in your lower back as well. And so do that a few times. Just draw this little circle on the ceiling. It's a pretty tiny circle, like a, I don't know, baseball, maybe, baseball size. And then go the other way a few times, this little circle. And then come back to center. Now we draw a bit bigger circle. Go about maybe smaller size, medium sized beach ball size. So we're going to go much bigger than this baseball size. We'll go about 3 times in one direction. This should be feeling, you have that side to side hip movement. So switch sides. And this is essentially when we have the knees hugged in, the hips are moving in the same direction, and the lower back is doing little arcs and pushes in. Okay, we do about 3 times one way, 3 times the other way. Now let's go real big circle. So I don't even know what this size ball is, but it's like a, I don't know, maybe a small wagon wheel or something like that. We go about 3 times this big circle, and we're trying to now use our core muscles to go slow down and around. And then let's go 3 times the other way. And just remember your breath, inhaling and exhaling, nice and easy, or a little heated breath, trying to draw that slow, controlled wagon wheel circle. And after about 3, come back to center, start to walk on the ceiling again. Yeah, I just wanted us to do something to get our legs up and start to waken up the hips and the legs and the knees, which is good to get our legs in the air when it's hot outside and it's summer everywhere. So let's hug the knees back in. And then keep the left knee in towards the chest, extend the right leg out. And just take this left knee out to the side a little bit, fold it out to the side, take an inhale. And as you exhale, cross the left knee across the body. Take an inhale, exhale here. And inhale back to center, squeeze it in, squeeze it in. And as you find an exhale, switch sides. So right knee in, just do one opening, bringing the knee out to the side, taking a breath there. And on an exhale, let's cross over on an exhale. Crossing it over, move the foot plants there on the top of the thigh. And inhale, come back to center. Okay, last little bit here while we're on the mat. Flex into the feet, knees are over the hips now. And our legs are like in a tabletop, so our knees are aligned with our heels. A little bit here from side to side. So we'll bring the hands pointed up and draw the shoulder blades down into the back, feet are flexed. Inhale, take the left arm and right leg, reaching. Just push the heel forward. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, opposite arm, opposite leg, reaching. And exhale, back to center. We really try to stabilize in the hips here. So keep going side to side in a slow manner. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. This is also kind of teetering on a Pilates move as well, which is it's good for stretching, good for our core, and we can bring some mindful awareness to what's moving. And I have to keep with it, opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay, which one's going now? And we'll just do one more. Yep. And then hug the knees in and just see how you feel. How does that feel to move opposite sides? Bring the feet back down, and last little bit, move the knees a bit side to side. Side to side. All right, and then roll over to one side. I'm gonna do a bit with this opposite arm, opposite leg stuff today. So lift yourself upright, and we'll come right into a tabletop position. So tabletop, you can do it many different ways. You don't always have to just be on the hands, on the wrists, rather. You can be on the fists, or you can double over your mat if your palms or your center of the hand is feeling any pressure. We can try to distribute the weight through the hands, shoulders over wrists, drop the belly, reach the heart. Inhale here. As you exhale, pull the belly up and in. Inhale, reach the heart, drop the belly. Exhale, round up and in. Drawing chin into chest. Try not to move the neck a whole lot, coming forward again and rounding up. And now come back into a neutral spine and begin to walk your hands over to one side. As you find an exhale, swing the hips over to the other side and feel that stretch to the one side of the waist. On your next inhale, come back to center and do the other side. We're just moving the spine in different directions. Inhaling, coming back to center. And now inhale, take the right hand and bring it up towards the sky. Bring the right arm up. And as you exhale, weave that right arm through to the side and just hover it there for a moment. Begin to bring some awareness and mindfulness into your arm and your shoulder, and also into your neck. See if you don't even have to look up. You don't even have to turn the head all the way to follow the gaze. We're just hovering it. Inhale, reach it up. And it's all just bringing information and awareness and mindfulness into these movements and what connects and what feels tension and all that good stuff. And then bring the arm up one more time. This time, plant the hand onto the lower back and just open up the chest, breathing upward. Inhale and exhale. And then bring the hand down and shake out this hand. We'll start to go over to this side, really planting the finger pads into the ground, modifying if needed. Inhale this arm up and exhale, weave it through. Feeling that stretch in the outer shoulder. Inhale, chest opens, right? Shoulder goes back, and exhale, shoulder goes forward, and there's a different rotation. So just notice, inhale, bringing it up. Exhale, reaching it through. Inhale, bringing it up. And last one through here. This time we hold this one up and gently plant the hand onto the lower back. Draw the shoulder back, open up the chest. Inhale and exhale. Inhale the arm up. Exhale it back down. Okay. So when we're here on the hands and knees, and like I said, you can modify if needed. We're going to take opposite arm, opposite leg. So take the right leg back from the ball of the foot onto the ground, and then you might float it up here, just not super high, but just even with the hip. And this opposite hand comes out in front, palm points in, and we can stay here with both hand and foot on the ground. Maybe we find a little lift. Now lift up and out of this hand and the shoulder onto the ground. Flatten through the back as you reach the fingertips forward. And again, we can be on the ground. And draw the heel back. Now find something steady to focus your gaze on, and notice if you're clenching in your neck, in your throat, or your tongue. Relax your jaw. And just find maybe 2-3 more breaths here. Reach at any amount further. So really point the toes down, heel back, reach to the fingertips. Very nice. And then on the next exhale, bring it down. Relax out the opposite hand. And we'll go to the other side. So left leg comes back, ball the foot onto the ground, then stretch back through the leg. Feel that toe is pointing down, heel pointed back. That's the action in the leg that we want when we float it up. And then this hand can come out in front. We keep it there, we float it up. But we just want to find a long line from heel to fingertips. And now again, notice everything pushing this opposite hand into the ground and toning up a little bit through the belly, lengthening forward. 2-3 more breaths here, softening where you can in your face. Nice. And on the end of the exhale, bring it back down. Okay, little sways here, and now let's tuck our toes and sit back on our heels for a moment. And if you come here immediately, you start to feel a little pressure on the feet. For some of it's a lot of pressure and even painful, in which case we can be upright. So you can be here or here. And I'll just take the hands back behind, interlace the hands, and open up the chest. So not a big puff out of the ribs, but just a nice opening into the chest as we stretch our feet. Lengthening up through the top of the head. Of course, you can be more upright too. Take one more breath here. Nice inhale, nice exhale. Great stretch for our legs, for our toes. And then slowly release it out. And we'll come all the way onto the belly. We'll do one more thing, switching side. Right over this opposite arm, opposite leg business. One more go at it. So arms out in front, stay looking down. That's also something to notice if you're constantly looking forward. And of course you can look to see me for a moment, but I'll try to speak a little louder. Try to look down, more flatness across the back of the neck, and take the left arm and the right leg and start to float it up. So opposite hand and foot stay down, and we just do that reach again. Reach forward, point. Now point the toes back instead of foot flexed. And then start to lower it down and switch sides. Inhale, exhale here, hold it up, inhale, and exhale it down. Now just start to switch sides on the in-breath. So as you inhale, float it up, exhale, float it down. Inhale, float it up, exhale, float it down. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. One more side to side. The neck shouldn't be strained at all. I hope not. Lower it down. And now, just the arms. So push the tops of the thighs in, the tops of the feet, and see if you can float the arms. The arms are probably not going to go super high. Try to keep them about close to the ears. And lower the front of the body, the arms. Now push the arms in. You can even bring the forehead down and lift the legs. Point back through the toes. So just the legs this time. Moving, activating the top of the thigh. Pointing the big toe mound back with the big toe. And lower down. Okay, on an inhale, let's see if we can float both arms and both legs and maybe take about 3 breaths when we get up there. Again, not lifting the neck, not cranking it forward. Nice, smoother breaths, as smooth as we can get it. Take one more inhale if you're still here. And on the exhale, lower down. And then just bend into your elbows and rest your head on your forearms to one side. You can move your hips a little bit and just take a big breath into the nose, out through the mouth. You should feel a bit of invigoration through your chest because we're working on using the chest to lift up the muscles there. So the heart's been working a bit more. Notice that. And then take the hands back behind it from here. One more time, we'll interlace the hands, draw the shoulder blades together, push the tops of the feet and the thighs into the ground, and just lift from the chest here. So again, we want to notice if we have a tendency to crank the neck and try to bring it just more into neutral, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Take one more breath here, lift any amount higher, still your feet are on the ground, and lower down. Okay, take the hands to either side of the ribs, put the elbows in, inhale and lift up just a little bit, elbows and shoulders back, exhale, wave down. 2 more like that, inhale, just a little lift here, it's not like super high, we're not trying to straighten the arms. Inhale, a little lift here, shoulders down the back, exhale down. And now inhale, come all the way up, tuck the toes, and just do this forward, this back motion and forward motion. And just release out any tension in the lower back. And then we'll spread into the hands, hug the upper arms in, lift the forearms forward, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and lift the hips downward facing dog. And so we can walk it out here. Rather we get this straightness in the arms and the spine than worry about straightening the legs. So of course we can bend into the knees. Take another breath here, this downward facing dog. And exhale out the mouth if you like. And then slowly begin to walk your feet forward. And we'll just let the whole body dangle. But instead of just letting your arms dangle, we'll add a little bit of release into the neck by taking the hands, interlacing them, and just bringing the palms gently to the sides of the neck as you release the head down. If that doesn't feel good, then skip it. But we're just kind of giving our neck a little massage on the sides as we draw the crown of the head further down, as we straighten the legs maybe a bit more and draw the sitting bones up. And if this feels dizzying at all, skip it. Take another breath here, giving my neck a little more lengthening massage on the sides. And then release your arms down. Bend into your knees, and like you're pulling up that anchor, slowly start to lift your body up, 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 up. And relax the shoulder blades down the back. So I want to do a sun salutation. We've pretty much done everything. But we're going to skip the chaturanga, the transition from standing to plank. And we'll do something a little different. So we'll slow this first round, about 3 rounds. On the inhale, bring your arms overhead. As you exhale, come forward with a flat back, bend into your knees as you need to, and release all the way down. On an inhale, bring your hands up the shins, lift up the chest, flatten the back. Again, don't crank the neck. Notice if that's the case. And then plant the hands and step back 1 foot at a time. Plank pose. So from plank, instead of like going through chaturanga, which is the halfway plank, come onto the tops of the feet. Keep your thighs lifted and start to drop your hips as you pull your shoulders back, reach your heart forward.
So your tops of your thighs are lifted. Your feet are the only thing in the leg that's on the ground, and your hands are on the ground. Lift the chest, and now we can look up maybe. And as you exhale, downward dog. And if that didn't feel nice, that's like something painting, then the next time you do sun salutation, feel free to just skip that one and come into your cobra, which we did earlier. Yeah. So downward dog, take a nice big breath here in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then on an inhale, come up high onto your toes. If you like, as you exhale to walk it forward, go back to that walk, or you can step it forward, or maybe a hop if you're used to that. Okay. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And instead of peeling ourselves up, we'll bend into the knees and flatten the back. Bring the arms out. Inhale all the way up and around. Exhale, hands to heart. So we'll do two more rounds and modify as you need to with that upward dog or anything for that matter. Inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders down the back. As you exhale, plant the hands, stepping back. Take an inhale here, decide if you want to take that upward dog again or skip. Come onto the tops of the feet, start to drop the hips. Your next inhale, pull the shoulders back, gaze up, inhale. And exhale, untucking the toes back to downward dog. Big breath here, inhale and exhale. Inhale, come up high into your toes, walk it, step it, hop it, feet to hands. Next, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart. One more round here, modifying as always if needed. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Release the head. Inhale, halfway lift. As you find an exhale, step back, plank. Inhale, plank. Now skip upward if you need to. As you exhale, drop the hips, fold the chest forward, and on an inhale, look up. As you exhale, roll over the toes and back to downward dog. Big breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And up high into the toes. Walk it, step it, or hop it into the exhale. Feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart. Okay, close the eyes. We'll come back for a moment into this meditative quality and just feel what that feels like. Was there anything paining in your body? Hopefully not, but sometimes it's the case. And so notice where there's pain and tension lingering. And just come back into your intention. Use that positive thought. If you found yourself in that negative thinking, even once or twice, just notice it, meet it with curiosity, and then come back to your intention. Okay. And lower the hands down, relax the shoulders. Okay. So we haven't done a lot for the hips. We'll just do one set of poses for the hips while we're in standing. Come out wide and point the toes out, point the heels in, so our knees are pointed out. And then hands under the hips here, start to bend into your knees. It's essentially a wide-legged squat. Bringing some awareness, again, into this, like we tend to arc the back. So draw the tailbone down a little bit and just a slight tone through the lower belly. Right? We basically don't want to be in a pelvic tilt. We want to be in a neutral hip. And then once you find that, you can move a little bit side to side, come center, relax your shoulders, close your eyes, and find a sense of ease, even as you're here, stretching through the inner thighs and opening the hips, even as you're here, planted evenly on both feet. And then on an inhale, bring your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bend into your elbows and spread your hands. So sometimes called goddess pose. Drawing your shoulder blades down the back, recognizing the feminine, whatever that is goddess pose, and the masculine live in all of us. And so it's just a nod to that energy. Sinking in a little bit further, notice where there's tension. Sit with it. If it makes sense, if it doesn't, if it's painful, come out of it. And just take one more breath here. Sinking in a little bit more, opening the chest. And then inhale, bring your arms back, shoulder blades close together. As you exhale, stand up tall, lengthen up through your legs, and just draw your arms in and cross one over the other and give yourself a big hug, drawing the chest in, the chin in towards the chest. Take a breath here. And we'll do that 3 more times, in and out of, embracing for the hug and then giving ourselves a big hug. So bending in, opening up, and exhaling, hug it in, straighten up. Big inhale here as we bend in, open up. Big exhale, out the mouth. Draw it in. One more like that. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, embrace it. We all need a hug, and since we're still quarantined, for the most part, it's hard to get that friendly hug sometimes that we're used to. Okay, heel toes, feet in. Come back to the top of your mat. We'll make our way down now. Inhaling, bringing the arms up. And exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. And as you exhale, plant the hands, stepping back, plank. We can take it through this upward dog again. If you're not feeling it, come straight into downward dog or even just straight into child. So feeling free to take this one if you like. And inhale, we'll meet in down dog. And then we'll meet in child's pose, dropping your knees. Big toes touch, sink the hips back towards the heels, and it might feel nice to bring the arms back behind. Take 5 rounds of breath here on your own. And that last breath, just sigh out through the mouth. On an inhale, slowly start to come upward. We'll swing the legs out in front of our torso. Flex into the feet here, move the fleshy part of the buttocks away. Hands to either side of the waist. Draw the chest open as you draw the shoulder heads back and lengthen up through the head and the neck. So just nice, easy staff pose. Flexing into the feet, drawing them back towards the head. Take 3 more breaths here. Maybe even close your eyes and just feel the energy of your body as you've done some movement, some stretching. You might feel some heat there. Tap into the heart, tap into the belly. Nice. And we'll go from here after that. 3rd exhale, we'll go halfway into a forward fold. So we're going to keep our hands here for a moment and try to lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades down the back, and we really can't go very far forward by maintaining this flatness of back. So notice that, like the mobility here, without using our arms and our shoulders, it's pretty limited. And then just walk your hands to either side of the thighs, lift the chest and go a little bit more forward, still not really looking down, but looking towards the shins. And then just walk your hands to either side of the knees. Draw your shoulder blades down the back and go a little bit more forward. Your feet are really turned on now. Your legs are active, your inner thighs spinning in, tops of your thighs rooting down. And just stay here for a moment. Like there's a lot of active stretch going on. Yeah. And now start to round out the spine. You keep your hands where they are. If it feels good to walk the hands more forward, then do that. And just hang out there for a moment. Wow, notice the big difference in the spine. Like, where were you holding before as you effort to keep the spine flat? And then as we come up, let's point through the toes. Get a stretch here on the tops of the feet. And we'll just come all the way back up. Yep. And from here, bend into your knees, plant your feet. Something different there. And come all the way onto the back again, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Take a big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And one more for our hips, since we didn't do a whole lot with our hips. Flex into your feet, point your heels upward. You can take peace fingers onto the big inside of the big toe. If that's not accessible, then maybe we grab our ankles, or even better, the backs of our knees, which really allows us to retract our shoulders down and back. And then if you want to do this little rock side to side, happy baby pose is kind of nice. Again, getting our legs up in the air so we can get some of this heavy weightiness, water retention out of the leg joints. And just take 3 big breaths here. Feel free to close your eyes. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And slowly begin to hug the knees back and squeeze it in. From here, bring your feet onto the ground. Creepy. And down a little bit. Slowly start to just move your knees a little bit side to side. Releasing out. And then last bit of physical practice before our final meditation, resting meditation, we'll bring the legs close together, push your feet to the ground like you're going to come up for a bridge pose. So lift the hips just a little bit and move them over to the left side, and then lower your knees over to the right as if your knees are stacked like in a fetal position, but your upper part of the torso is trying to stay in this this facing up position rather. Does that make sense? And start to look over to the left side if that feels okay on the neck. Just take 3 big breaths there. So spinal twist. And inhale back to center. Hips come back to center. And the reason I say pick up your hips and move them is that the spine generally goes in an off-kilter position if you don't compensate for moving it, swinging the hips off to the side. So you can try it, and you notice that it's like impossible to try to stack the legs almost when we go off in that direction. Not impossible, but a little more challenging. So legs together, pick up the hips, swing them to the right, and then lower the knees to the left. And the spine is just more in a straight line from lower back to upper body when we do it that way. You can gaze off to the side or close the eyes. A little more stretch in the neck. Take 3 deep breaths here on your own. And inhale back to center. We'll take it into our final resting position. It's a little squeaky here. So get comfortable. Do a little extra stretch if you need to. If you've got something to put under the knees, a blanket or a pillow, go for it. And if you've got something to cover the eyes, even if it's just like a washcloth, that can be really nice to drown out the brightness of the light and also just help you draw inward. So get comfortable here. Do your final little extra wiggle out, extra movement. And then once you get into Shavasana, final resting, Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Physically feel again for any tension, maybe in your head, maybe in your shoulders, your spine, your arms and legs. We'll go from top to bottom, releasing tension in the body. Notice where there's anything holding in the head or the face. So are your eyebrows softening? Soften your forehead. Let your eyes melt deeper into the sockets. Relax the cheeks. Relaxing the jaw and the tongue, the inside of the mouth. Relax the throat. Let the back of the head be heavy in the earth. Just feeling a lightness in the front of the face, a heaviness, a release in the back of the head. And the front of the throat, front of the neck, soften. Soften the back of the neck. Soften the right shoulder blade into the earth. The left shoulder blade into the earth. Notice any tension constricted in your chest and your heart. Again, find a gentle release, softness in those areas of tension. Feel your arm bones heavy in the earth. Draw an awareness down into the palms of your hand and feel the pulse of your breath in the right palm and in the left palm. Rest the back of the hands. Soften the rib cage, soften the lungs, the backs of the ribs into the earth. The belly, very released, very relaxed. Imagining, not with too much detail, but feeling and imagining the internal organs releasing and breathing and functioning just on their own as you rest. Relax the front of the hips, the hip joints and the big bone areas and the backs of the hips. Relax the buttocks and the glutes. Feel the leg bones heavy, the top of the thigh releasing, the femur bones, the upper legs, just releasing a bit more, the tops of the knees, the backs of the knees, the lower leg, the calf muscle releasing into the earth. Relax the ankles. And again, bring awareness now into the bottoms of the feet, just like we did the palms. Feel the breath in the bottom of your feet, the sole of your feet. You might feel a tingling sensation there, some warmth. And then relax the entirety of both feet. Relax even the toes, top of the foot. Feeling your whole back body melt into the earth. Take a few rounds of breath to really sink in, feeling and going heavier, just letting gravity pull you deeper into the earth. Inhale and exhale, go deeper, deeper. 5. Inhale and exhale, melt in. 4. Inhale and exhale, dropping down, dropping down. 3. Inhale And exhale, melt in, 2. Inhale and exhale, let go, 1. And just let the whole body rest. The whole body, the whole body. Softening in. Come back to wherever your attention is drawing to in your body, maybe your heart center, that green glow, remembering the root energy center from below the navel through the pelvis. Or wherever else you're drawing, just naturally where your attention goes in your body, and anchoring into that part. Sending release there. And feeling the energy of the breath as you are resting, feeling the energy of the breath permeate your whole body. Feeling this sort of awareness of life occurring, cells constantly being, producing and then dying and producing and dying, and this constant process of breath that moves through your body, of blood flow, just bearing witness to it and feeling it a bit more. And now come back to that bit of counting we did at the very beginning. Remember, we counted down from 15 to 1. So if you feel like doing that again, just to anchor into your breath, getting out of the thoughts, getting out of the senses and the emotions, then use that. And if you don't particularly feel like doing the counting, then just kind of stay here with your breath. Stay here a little while longer in silence. Gradually begin to deepen your breath. Feel the belly filling up, the lungs, the chest, and gentle sigh out. Notice your spine. Notice as you breathe in, as your belly moves, what occurs in your lower back. As your lungs move, what occurs in the spine between the ribs, and then in your upper back and through your head. And exhale out. And then start to waken up your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet, your ankles and your wrists, your elbows and your knees. Maybe just give the arms and the legs, the whole body a little wiggle out. Feel free to take a full body stretch here, whatever feels good to you, to waken up and gently come back into our physical world, and just be kind and gentle to yourself as you wake up. If you had an extra moment to wake up in the morning, what would you do? And do that. So you don't have to hit the alarm right away. Just have a moment to wake up. And then eventually we come to bending the knees, planting the feet, and rolling off to one side. Just pause there for a moment in your fetal position. And this is a very loving, connected position, connected to our origin, and it's a very safe position. So just find that security feeling, this calm feeling in the fetal position. Take a nice deep breath. And then just very gently push yourself away from the earth and find your seat, your tall seat, as we did in the very beginning. Sitting up tall, lengthening up through the spine, closing the eyes, open the chest by rolling the shoulder blades down the back. Open the palms, spread your hands, and just accept whatever benefit you got from the practice, whatever your intention was, just honoring it and taking something good from it, just leaving anything else that arose. And on your next inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And in this moment, bow to that greater self in your own heart, your own spirit, or however you conceive it, as this light within. So bow to that self with your own heart. And then bow to that of those around us who share in the practice. It's like my light, my seed of soul, sees and honors and bows to the light and seed of soul within you. Very profound, yet simple acknowledgement of our own light and that of those around us. We say namaste to close the practice with that intention in mind, bowing to each other's light. With gratitude, thank you for joining me. Namaste.